Hello, everyone. Gosh, it's been quite a while since I've actually filmed up here in my bedroom. And I haven't actually filmed a review talking about music in several months now. I am sorry. But I am here to talk about Björk's Return. Actually, this song came out a couple days ago, and I'm sorry I'm not only getting into it now because I was in the UK for the last couple weeks and I was kind of like knowing the single was coming out. I was like, oh, if it comes out while I'm on vacation, people are going to be expecting a review and I'm not going to be able to do it until I get home. So now I'm home and settled. And I can film my thoughts on the lead single of Björk's upcoming 10th studio album titled Fasora. We are keeping up with the theme of ending our album titles with an A, something she has done ever since Medulla over 15 years ago. So it is apparently the feminine form of the word fasore, which is, I believe, Latin term for to dig. So she is playing off of the idea of burrowing into the earth, digging, burrowing in, taking root. And if you look at the visuals for not only the album cover, but also for the single called Atopos, I believe Atopos is how it's pronounced, but correct me if I'm wrong. I have not heard her say it actually, it's not in the lyrics or anything, so I don't know exactly how it's pronounced. And that is a Greek word for unusual or out of place. So the song is kind of obviously embodying that. Upon first listen, I was like, all right, here we go. Here we go. She's going to bend the rules sonically, and she is going to do the one thing that I don't really tolerate other artists of mine doing. And in terms of enjoyment, she is the one who can get away with it because I give her the benefit of the doubt every time. And I got to be honest, after several listens, this song has really grown on me. It does have a melody, but it is not one that, is going to be easily discernible. As is kind of becoming more custom with Björk's music in today's age, which is something I do lament. But my hopes for the album as a whole, looking at the track titles and looking at what the concept and kind of ideas of some of the songs are going to be, the themes that are inspiring some of the tracks, I'm hoping that we will get some more, stirring emotional melodic ballads on this record. But the album is definitely going to be a juxtaposition of kind of really sad, lamentative music. She's going to be, singing about the death of her mother in 2018 and things of that nature. But also, she is going to be having a rave in her bedroom, which is exactly kind of what she wanted to bring to this sort of post-quarantine kind of world that we're living today. Björk has always been a fan and lover of electronic music, rave culture. Something called gabber music, which is a term I had never heard before. It sounds like something a London person made up for something, like it just has that kind of British edge to it in that term. Gabber. And what we get in Atopos is a relentless kind of metallic drum beat that will just kind of cause you to, I don't know, contort in ways you didn't think imaginable. No, it's very electrifying what we get in the package sonically here. We do have some really glorious sort of harmonizing vocal hums that Björk is sort of digitizing in the background sporadically, which gives this feeling of like airiness to the song. But yet there's this electronic, synthetic rooting taking place that, of course, the latter half of the song runs away with it quite wonderfully. I'll be honest with you. Like it's infectious. It's a song that, it needs to open up the album in a big way. And I think it definitely does that job. There's an earthiness to the beats, which is something that I definitely kind of expecting from how she was talking about the collaborations. Some of the things she was describing, this Indonesian electronic producer named Kasamin, he is on a lot of the tracks on this record, and this sort of the, jabber gabber sort of music moniker comes from the music that he likes to play around with. And organic, earthy, synthetic beats is something that she is really going to explore. And that does remind me of the Vespertine kind of thing. It also gives me biophilia vibes. So, all in all, this album, I mean, especially looking at the cover, is giving me a lot of biophilia and hints of Vespertine. A little bit of Medulla in there as well, with some of the vocal modulations and harmonizations that are being distorted in the background. Those three records combined could make a really interesting project. And so I am extremely fascinated to see what is going to unfold for us here. Lyrically, this song speaks of the need to find commonality despite all these differences. Are these not just excuses? Are these all just excuses to not connect? She pleads with the listener, if we don't grow outwards towards love, we'll implode inwards towards destruction. The times that we've all had to kind of take root where we are for COVID and quarantine, she talks about being an inspiration for taking root where we are and sort of being stuck with our partner and spending more time with them than maybe we would have liked or had done in the past. And it causes us to confront a lot of things. And ultimately, this is an album about this is a song about searching for connection and sort of doubting the sort of culture that pervades that, our differences are so glaring. So, everything that we see when we first meet someone, when in the reality that, we could also look at the flip side of our commonalities. That could be, an allusion to dating culture. I could definitely see hope is a muscle that allows us to connect. Our differences are irrelevant. The finger wagging she does. Oh, let's talk about the styling, the looks that she is serving, the costumes that her clarinet and wind instrument group are donning. They look like sort of a ragtag, sort of Humpty Dumpty take on circus performers. It's a little Alice in Wonderland with the visuals and with the costuming. What are those two, weird characters from Alice in Wonderland that have like, I wish I'll show them on the screen if anyone remembers what they're called, but I can see them in my head. I just can't remember what they're called. The costuming there is definitely giving me that. And, I heard someone say that, anyone who has, taken part in middle school or high school band, especially clarinet practice, will take appreciation for the artistry and somewhat off-kilter dissonance of performance that is given for these clarinetists. Clarinetists? Is that the term for people who play the clarinet? Like flautist is a flute player, clarinetists. Let me know when that one. But she has her group of people on the clarinet, and this album is about the clarinet because last Utopia was about flutes. She, always kind of pulls a different classical element into her music these days and kind of centers the album around that soundscape. A really wonderful idea. She looks a lot like in the makeup, Aiden Zane, the drag queen from season 12 of US Drag Race. Something about the makeup and the lips and the eyes. She's channeling Aiden Zane. There's also Willow Pill, the winner of the recent season of Drag Race US. That coming kind of vibe with the off kilter Alice in Wonderland, cutesy chic but like super out there kind of avant-garde aesthetic. Definitely getting that drag vibe. So, I mean, she's a Drag Race fan, so she knows where she's pulling some of these fashion influences from. The makeup is done by Hungry, who is a phenomenal German makeup artist who did the Utopia album art and styling. I mean, and Björk is the creative director for these visuals. So we are 100% getting her vision here. And she is raving in this, mushroom fungi city, this sort of Pixar, take on Alice in Wonderland, kind of earthy, organic, sci-fi, alien world. And that's something that, again, it's a brilliant concept that she can only run away with and take us into this dizzying psychedelic wonderland with like nothing else. And I am extremely excited looking at all the track titles, what this might sound like. But again, definitely hearkening to the sort of scientific allegory kind of stuff she was doing lyrically and visually with biophilia, and sort of picking up there, which I think, is a wonderful place for her music to continue, because I think conceptually is just a great place for her art to live in. It really packs a punch for me. It really, I don't know, it just astounds me visually. And as much as, in the long scheme of things, is this song going to be my absolute favorite Björk song? Is going to be my favorite Björk lead single? Probably not. But her later music is always going to exist in this realm of when I'm in the mood for it. It's not necessarily topping my playlists, but there's something about it. There's something about Atopos. It's going to open up the album in a big way, and I think it's doing what it needs to do. Björk is breaking rules that, like I said, I set for other artists, and only Björk can get away with it. So that's my thoughts on it. What are your thoughts on her comeback? Are you excited? I'm so glad. It's been 5 years. I'm ready to talk about Björk again on this channel some more. I know a lot of you who subscribed to my channel in the beginning did so because I was talking about Björk and I was reviewing all of her records, and this channel is always going to be very much dedicated to her. So I'm very excited to review this upcoming project on September 30th. That's so soon. I thought it was going to be coming later in the fall, only a couple weeks away. So you will see a review of that. I'm trying to focus more on specific artists that I really want to film reviews for instead of reviewing everything under the sun in pop culture. So that's why you're not seeing as many reviews, but I'm going for quality over quantity, okay? Just the ones I really have put time in, or you've seen me review a lot more in the past. Those are the ones I'm going to continue with. So let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? Is this a promising sign for the direction of her new music? Please subscribe if you are new here for obviously my Björk Fasora review and other content of other artists similar to Björk, female artists predominantly, and my reviews of them. And I will see you all in my next video. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace, love, and light. Bye.